Hello everyone, my name is Viviana Portilla and I'm going to present about childhood obesity. As we know, childhood obesity is a serious medical concern around the world that reduces the quality of life of a person. Children who are above the standard weight according to their age and height are considered obese. From this topic, everyone will be able to understand the importance of childhood obesity and to know how to prevent it, such as having a healthy diet and exercise. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention states that children who are overweight and obese are increasing in number in the United States, and it is associated with nutrition, having a sedentary lifestyle, genetics, environmental, and psychological factors. One of the primary factors that contribute to childhood obesity is nutrition. Nutrition plays a significant role in our life because the diet of each person will affect health positively and negatively. For example, when children have inadequate nutrition, such as consuming more caloric dense food and fast food than nutrient dense foods, they will not have the necessary nutrients for the body to work correctly at school, home, and community. Poor nutrition will affect academic performance and the energy needed to work throughout the day. Moreover, adequate nutrition requires nutrients such as carbohydrates, protein, fat, vitamins, minerals, and water, which are macronutrients and micronutrients that are essential for our body. Carbohydrates are the body's principal source of fuel, while proteins promote the growth and maintenance of hair, nails, skin, tendons, and muscles. Also, animal-based proteins are the best one because they have the nine essential amino acids the body requires. Fat provides energy and protection around the organs and skeletal structure. Vitamins allow the body to obtain the energy from macronutrients, where carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. Vitamins, minerals are found in bones, teeth, and body fluids, and the 70% in our body is water. One of the reasons it is significant to know about nutrition is to have a better understanding of what we have to consume to avoid excess caloric intake that will lead to obesity. Another reason will be to understand that having exceptional nutrition will help to maintain a healthy body weight according to the standards and to reduce the risk of chronic disease, including obesity. From my own experience, children prefer to eat what tastes delicious rather than what is healthy for them. Also, we do not require a strict diet to be healthy, but to understand what to consume and the proper size portion to avoid weight gain, which leads to obesity. I have two books about nutrition. The first book is Dinosaur Dinner by Annie Kubler, which is primarily about a dinosaur who has an unhealthy diet and do not exercise daily, which leaves him with no energy to function every single day. It introduced the story of how his healthy friends encouraged him to change his style of living. I choose this book because students will strengthen the importance of having a healthy and fitness lifestyle. The second book is named Good Enough to Eat: A Kid's Guide to Food and Nutrition by Lizzie Rockwell. It is an excellent informational book about nutrition for younger ones. It describes the different nutrients a person needs to function correctly and to have a healthy life, such as protein, fat, minerals, grains, fruits, vegetables, and vitamins. It also offers a nutrient guideline in a way kids will learn and have fun, fun while exploring nutrition. Moreover, it describes how much nutrients we need and all the information about calories. I select this book because students will understand the importance of each nutrient and how they work for us and anything else about nutrition. The second contributing factor to obesity in children is to have a sedentary lifestyle, which is defined as spending time sitting or lying down without being active throughout the day. An inactive person does not play sports or any other games outside, but instead but instead prefers to be sitting down in their bedroom to play video games, using computers, and to watch television. As we have seen during this pandemic, children are inactive during the whole day by being sitting down more than 7 hours a day to do the assignments required from each class and do nothing else because they are not allowed to go outside, such as parks. An increased amount of time spent in sedentary behaviors as watching television and playing video games decrease the time spent in physical activity, which leads to obesity in youngers by not eliminating the extra caloric intake. This inactivity and poor nutrition will lead to health problems that will persist until adulthood by not doing the required time for physical activity. It is significant to comprehend the consequences of having a sedentary lifestyle during childhood, even during a pandemic, because not taking care of children's health at an early age will lead to health difficulties. Some health problems will be diabetes type 2, cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, lipid disorders, and high blood pressure. Another reason it is relevant that everyone will be aware of the negative influences on mental health a lack of activity causes, such as increasing the risk of depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem from their figure in a diverse population. One book about physical activity is "All the Things You Can Do That Are Good for You, All About Staying Healthy" by Tish Ray. It is primarily about the basics of healthy living. It explains the significance of eating healthy, staying active, getting adequate sleep, and more important facts. I choose this book because students will be able to understand the things they have to do to live a healthy life, and also because it has suggestions for kids to prepare healthy recipes and to increase their activity. The last factor that contributes to obesity in children is genetics, environmental, and psychological factors. Genetics is one of the primary factors that cause obesity because if one or both of the parents are obese, the child is susceptible to be obese too, unless the child decides to change his/her eating habits and physical lifestyle. The environmental factor influences the food intake and physical activity of children, especially in the settings of school and home. One of my experiences I faced at school was that they provide less nutrient meals and vending machines with unhealthy snacks and drinks that contribute to the problem of obesity in children and adolescents. I remember that when I was in high school, I eat a lot of the food provided by the school, and when it was Christmas break, I was a little bit more obese, well, overweight than my normal standard weight. At home, parents are responsible for providing whole foods for children to give them a high nutrient density, but they prefer to take children to eat outside because they do not have sufficient time to cook because of their job. When eating outdoors, fast food restaurants produce high caloric food with a low nutritional density that will cause weight gain, which negatively affects health. However, by staying more time at school, I believe one of the reasons to avoid obesity in children is that school promote healthy food choices instead of unhealthy ones such as snacks. By the way, The psychological factors increase the risk of child obesity. Obese children might face teased and bullied because of the weight that causes them to have low academic achievement, low confidence, and overeat. Overeating in children is induced by the anxiety they experience, and it results in weight gain because the amount of calories consumed exceeds the amount of energy burned in physical exercise. It is meaningful because it helps us to comprehend the factors that affect children, which is helpful to support them and avoid obesity for young years. Another reason is that by having more information about the topic, we know what we have to do to improve the health of children instead of hurt them. One book about genetics, environmental, and psychological factors is I Get So Hungry by Bibi Moore Campbell. It is principally about an obese girl named Nikki who eats when she feels sad, angry, and bored. She went to the doctor and was diagnosed with a health problem. The doctor prevented her from eating junk food, but when returning home, her mother brought donuts. After Christmas break, she noticed that her professor lost weight and ate differently. Then she decided to be healthier. She started walking with her teacher in the morning and learns to eat when she is hungry and not when feeling emotional. I choose this book because students will be able to understand the issue of childhood obesity and being aware of them. Also, I select the book because the story will inspire students who are facing the same problems in our society. What's new? According to Donna, childhood obesity in the United States has increased in the past 30 years, which is right because the elevated prevalence of obesity in developing countries has been reported as global pandemic. Also, the rise of obesity in young girls could lead to a decline in life expectancy later in life. In 2016, 124 million children and adolescents had obesity, and the prevalence of overweight and obesity was 80% between the 5 and 19 years old. As I say, diet and physical activity are risk factors that strongly relate to childhood obesity, which is the result of energy imbalance and lack of exercise. Low physical exercise and increased sedentary behaviors are correlating with the increment of chronic conditions such as obesity. An example would be Dan Statura, a 14-year-old boy who was diagnosed with diabetes type 2 because as he grew older, his activity level decreased and weight increased. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, it is essential to not give a low-calorie diet for children because it will interfere with their growth process. However, if we promote what is right to eat, such as whole grains, fruits, vegetables, lean and dairy products, it will help to reduce weight. To avoid obesity in young years, children have to take part in moderate to vigorous activity for at least 60 minutes every single day. Another way to reduce childhood obesity is to involve parents by recommending them to change their lifestyle and eat habits and encourage children to play outside instead of stay at the phone, computer, or console. Critical thinking question. How is obesity measured in children? Assessing, assessing obesity in children is a little bit more complex than adults, but it is measured based on his/her body mass index, which is measure of fat in the body based on weight and height. What are the main differences between being considered overweight versus obese? Being overweight and obese means that someone has more fat than the one considered healthy. However, overweight is a person who weighs more than the standard, while obese is someone who has an excess amount of body fat. For example, an athlete is overweight because of the muscle instead of fat. Is obesity common in the United States? It is increasing at an alarming rate because of one of four children in the United States is considered obese. What other factors might contribute to childhood obesity? Other factors will be socioeconomic, sociocultural, body, body dissatisfaction, eating disorder symptoms, and early life nutrition. What are the determinant children engage in sedentary behavior? The determinant children engage in sedentary behavior is because they can work better by being sitting instead of being standing, or they have nothing else to do. What is the percentage of nutrient intake and physical activity? The studies have shown that nutrient intake or diet is responsible for 70% of weight loss or maintenance, while physical activity is associated with only 30%. How will parents prevent obesity in children? Parents can prevent obesity by paying attention to the portion size, which is recommend a small portion, avoiding using food to reward a behavior, encouraging kids to try new foods and physical activity, and develop a social environment, for example, eating together without watching television or using the cell phone. How will school prevent obesity in youngers? A school can prevent obesity by including balanced lunch, daily and mandatory physical activity, and teach children about nutrition and healthy food options. This is my website where I look for my information. And that's it. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.